Hello, everyone. I am Ryan Clifton Bowling. Thank you for joining me. The radical left just will not give up their attempts to cause as much frustration, anger, and confusion in the minds of Americans. They just will not give up trying to cause as much confusion as they possibly can. And case in point, the mayor of Chicago, Lori Lightfoot, have called all LGBTQ plus friends, she calls them, to basically take up arms after this supposed leak from the Supreme Court about the overturning of Roe v. Wade. She is calling upon her friends, her gay friends, to say we need to take up arms. We need to arm ourselves against the conservatives, basically what she is saying. This is totally insane. We all know from a factual basis that it has been the radical left that have been the main perpetrators of violence against those on the right or conservatives. So let's get into this. Let's get into this article. Let's get into this article because this is just insane. But once again, I'm not surprised. This is the radical left, and Lori Lightfoot fits that bill. According to the article, Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot issues LGBTQ, quote, call to arms over Supreme Court leak. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot has issued an LGBTQ call to arms in response to the leaked Supreme Court decision singling the end of Roe v. Wade. Echoing the leftist fear-mongering, Lightfoot charged that the Supreme Court will soon be targeting LGBTQ rights if it has its way with ending Roe. Just insane. To my friends in the LGBT community, this is what she tweets. She says, to my friends in the LGBTQ plus community, the Supreme Court is coming for us next. This moment has to be a call to arms. And then she tweets again, we will not surrender our rights without a fight to victory. It is amazing to me, before we even go any further into this article, let me just make this comment. It is amazing to me, as I said earlier in the introduction of this video, the level of deception and manipulation that the far left is willing to go in order to deceive the minds of the people. This is just a perfect example of that. And what indication does what way or any way is there any indication, even slightly remotely, that the Supreme Court is going to come after those in the LGBTQ plus community? What indication at all is that happening? And I believe is that going to happen? I believe that these far left radicals, and Lori Lightfoot is one of them. This woman, see, this is the kind of stuff. I agree with my boy Brandon T. Tatum. He's a Christian himself, and I'm a Christian, but this is the kind of stuff make me want to cuss. I do not like these far left radical liberal politicians. I just don't. These people just have the darkest, most evil heart. Even if someone was to argue where they're doing it for the money, then you love money over right and wrong. You love money over morality. You just a slave, the way I see it. But either here or there, these people, this kind of stuff make me want to cuss. It's just disgusting. It's just disgusting. Let's read on. It says, prior to her call to arms, Lightfoot declared she and the women's leaders of Chicago will collectively stand for, quote, reproductive freedom. She tweets, proud to stand side by side with fearless women leaders of Chicago. We will fight like hell to protect reproductive freedom for women here and across the country. The left has been working overtime to spread fear in the wake of the leaked decision. When you read, well, you know what? Let me see something here. We'll start right there. I'm going to put a link to the article in the description box below. You can read the rest of that if you want. And I'm going to put a link to the article in the description box below, and you can read the rest of it on your own free time. But it's clear from what she is saying, from Mayor Lightfoot's words, and what she is saying is that she is right alongside a lot of these other far left politicians, radical politicians. They are trying to incite anger and frustration and fear in the minds of people. This is a total rejection of all factual data. I'm going to keep saying this. Even if the Supreme Court overturns Roe v. Wade, it will only take it out of the federal government's hands and put it in the hands of the state and local governments. Women that still want to have an abortion are free to get an abortion if the government or the mayor of that city or the governor of that state is a Democrat or a radical Democrat or progressive Democrat, to put it another way. You'll still be free to get an abortion. So what is the big deal? And to be quite frank with you, I believe that these radical, far left, progressive Democrats are not true Democrats in the sense of in the major sense of the word. Now, I don't support Democrats at all. Even if they're moderate Democrats, I still don't support them. If I had a choice between a moderate Democrat and a Republican whose policies stink, I wouldn't vote for any one of them. I wouldn't vote for neither one of them, because I'm definitely not going to vote for a Democrat, even if they're a moderate Democrat, because their policies still support things that I believe are immoral and that I believe are wrong. So I'm not going to put my vote in, because I believe my vote empowers them to push policies that I believe are in part destructive to the country. Nevertheless, I believe right now with people like Lori Lightfoot pushing this fear-mongering, are a part of a bigger scheme, a part of a communist takeover of our country by psychologically manipulating the minds of millions of Americans with true disinformation. See, the left blames the conservatives on disinformation, but that is a flip of the script. The real true initiators of misinformation and disinformation is the radical left. They're just trying to switch it around. If I get people to see that it's the radical left that's trying to twist things around when it comes to misinformation and disinformation, if I can get people to see that, then the better off we'll be, I believe. But it's very difficult, because that's all they see on MSNBC. I can't even say the people's name. CNN and CBS and all the other left supporting news shows. That's all they're seeing. So it's very hard to persuade people and show people that it is not the conservatives necessarily that's given, well, I wouldn't even say necessarily, I'm going to say it boldly. It is not the conservatives that are giving misinformation and disinforming people. It is the radical left. They just twisting the words around to confuse you. And what Lori Lightfoot is doing here is implying to the LGBTQ, whatever community, to take up arms. What do you mean by that? What do you mean, Miss Lori Lightfoot? What do you mean by that? Are you implying violence? I believe she is implying violence. I believe she should take up arms. What do you mean by that? Boxing? Anybody that hears the term take up arms usually believes you're talking about getting guns. But if that's the case, I'm giving you my opinion. If that's the case, which I believe is what she's saying, get armed up physically, get your guns together. Here's a progressive Democrat who's against guns, want to take guns from law-abiding citizens, telling her company of people, if you will, her friends, to take up arms. You want to take guns away from law-abiding citizens, but then based on this twisted mentality she has, she wants her friends, if you will, to be armed up. See how these progressive liberals do? They're liars, man. They twist the truth. They're hypocrites. But having said all that, this whole concept of taking up arms, I believe, is something that the progressive Democrats and progressive radical left is trying to do, and that is incite a revolution based on physical violence. Because there's no reason whatsoever, none whatsoever, if the Supreme Court overturns Roe v. Wade, there is no need whatsoever for those who are of that lifestyle, the alternative lifestyle, to take up arms because they think that the Supreme Court is going to come after them. Man, knock it off. That's true misinformation. That's true disinformation. Okay? So I just wanted to say that. What do you guys think about this? What Mayor Lori Lightfoot is talking about here? I believe that she's lying. I believe she's a hypocrite. And that she's taking and manipulating information. Either she knows that this is this is not taking women's rights away from them to have an abortion. Either she knows that and she's deliberately lying, or she doesn't know it. She's just dumb, crazy, and ignorant. But either way it goes, it just goes to show you that too many people rely on these politicians to tell them things instead of doing their own research and doing their own study themselves. They just put their complete faith in whatever the politicians say. And that's a sad situation. And I believe if things don't change and if people don't wake up, it's going to lead to the absolute destruction of this country. But I just wanted to say that. What do you guys think? Leave your comments in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button. Share this video and subscribe. God bless you all and see you again.